We're live. Okay, awesome. Well, I am super excited. You guys have joined in tonight. We have a super special treat and guest lined up this evening, and so I'm excited for you guys to hear from the awesome Nicole Jones. And I just want to start off and say, Nicole, I so appreciate you. I appreciate all that I am learning from you, and I love the fact that you are so willing to share. And it's one of the awesome things about Mary Kay is that, Nicole doesn't make any money off of us, and, but she's totally taking and not taking, she's giving her time tonight to pour into us. And so I'm just very thankful for you. And she's definitely teaching me to move at a much quicker pace, which I needed that. So I'm very excited for you guys just to hear her story and just, of course, what all she has to share. So thank you, Nicole, for your time and for sharing with us tonight.
You are welcome. Absolutely. All right, well, I'm just going to dive right in. I'm going to share a little bit about my story and a little bit about what sort of makes me a little different from other directors and my unit a little different from other units. So I started my Mary Kay business in March of 2015. I technically signed my beauty agreement in February, but we had some really bad ice storms, and so my launch party got pushed back a couple of times. So never fear if someone's launch party gets pushed back multiple times. They could turn into your next, top director. But so I got rescheduled a few times. And before my launch party even happened, I got invited to an event. So let me tell you about the power of events. I had no want to go to this event. I had finally reluctantly said yes to the Mary Kay business opportunity after being shared with and layered many times. I think it was 4 or 5. My recruiter will argue with me on that point. She says it was more. But Mary Kay was just not something in my wheelhouse. I didn't talk to people I didn't know. I didn't trust women. I was using the products and had been for about 6 months at the point that I finally said yes. And that was because I fell in love with the product. It took me 6 months to go through an entire tube of cleanser. And so that's when I knew that, it was working. I was seeing a difference. And I saw my recruiter and how much fun she was having and the money she was making. So let me backtrack a little bit. Part of the reason I said no originally was I was very busy. I had a full-time job, specialty medical billing. And I just didn't see where this would be a benefit to my life. I knew that, it was for some people and it was good money and things like that. But for me, it just wasn't in the cards. Well, I got laid off my job a week before Christmas with no notice whatsoever. And so that led me to finally saying yes in February. So fast forward again back to that event. So we had the opening of our studio in Plano. And at that studio opening, I didn't realize it, but there were going to be 4 national sales directors at that meeting. I was like, I'm only going to do this part-time to pay off a cruise. Why do I really need to go to an event? I didn't want to go. But my recruiter convinced me that they needed to buy cupcakes from me. So she had them order 100 cupcakes. So therefore, I had to show up. So they ordered 100 cupcakes from me at a discount. How they worked that one, I don't know. And so I brought the cupcakes and I was just going to leave. And she's like, no, you have to wait till the end because somebody might want your business card. And so I was like, all right, cupcakes are my business now. I might as well stay. And at that event was Leah Carta, Stacey James, and Cindy Williams. There was another national that just sort of popped in and out very quickly. She didn't really share much about herself, but she was just there to show her support and then move on because there were 8 directors, I think, at the time when the studio opened. So Stacey James, Leah Carta, and Cindy Williams. I had no idea who any of these ladies were. I had no idea that they were basically Mary Kay, royalty and a really, really big deal. And so they started out, because they were all wearing plain clothes. So we're dancing and we're having fun, and I'm doing the wobble with Stacey James and just having a good old time. And then they got up and they started, giving their eye story. So the 3 of them gave their eye story. Leah Carter went first. So I don't know how many of you have heard her story, but they're all amazing. So she spoke, and I felt, I was like, oh, okay, she's younger than me, and she's been very successful with this, and she retired her husband at like age 26 or something crazy like that. And so I sort of looked at her and said, oh, okay, if she can do it, I can do it, because I didn't know any better. And then the next one to get up was Cindy Williams. Cindy Williams is a ball of energy. She's so much fun. She's so dynamic. But her story is one of victory and survival. And she talked about how you can be a victim or a victor. And she talked about how you can't let your past dictate your future. And so when she said that, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been holding on to my past and some things that had happened to me. And I was like, oh, hang on. Okay, sorry. I think the other ones are trying to get on the call, so it's making bugging. Can you still see me okay, Shelly?
Yeah, I can see you. I think that was Jennifer Norrie trying to get in. It's
okay.
Something, I don't know what happened, or do we need to do anything?
No, you should be good. If you message her that she needs to just click on the link that you sent her, it'll add her in.
Okay, there she is.
There she is.
Awesome.
You got it. Okay. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
You can just go ahead and mute yourself, and then that way we won't be able to hear the background noise. But so basically, Cindy Williams, shared her story and helped me realize that I needed to let go with a lot of my past issues and just be okay with my past and know that my past is not my future. And then Stacey James got up, and Stacey James, I could just listen to her speak all day long. And so Stacey James got up and she spoke, and I don't know what she said. I mean, I have a million pages of notes, but at one point I turned to my recruiter and I said, I'm not going to work on Monday. I had a job I was supposed to start. They were messing around with my start date. They were giving me a hard time already, and I hadn't even started yet. And I really didn't want to go back to doing medical billing, but I felt like I needed to. So I literally burned my boat that day. I hadn't even had my launch party yet, and I burned my boat. And there's power in that. When you don't have a plan B, there's power behind your why. And so my why originally was just to pay off a cruise. And that day, listening to those 3 national sales directors, my why was, I'm never going back to corporate America again. This is it. This is my job. This will be my career. I have no idea if I'm any good at it. I've never done it before. But I'm one of those find a way, make a way people. And I feel in this world there's 2 types of people. There's find a way, make a way women, and there's find an excuse, make an excuse woman. And so very rarely can a find an excuse, make an excuse woman turn into a find a way, make a way woman. Now, the find a way, make a way can give herself lots of excuses, but if she's really driven to do something, she will find a way to make it happen. So that was March 8th, March 9th, something like that. My launch party was March 17th. Why I picked St. Patrick's Day, I don't know. I had 3 people show up to my party, but I wasn't deterred. Between my outside orders that I had gathered, my people at my party, and I reached out to everybody that was supposed to show that didn't, my initial order that I placed with the company was $1,283. I did not have money for inventory. My credit was awful. So I knew that I had to work for every single penny that I was going to make in this business because I wasn't able to invest. So what I did was I basically took my first couple of parties and invested back into inventory. So basically everything I ordered, I'd order 2 of. And I did that for my first 3 parties. So by the end of March, I had sold over $2,000 in wholesale, or placed $2,000 in wholesale orders in a 2-week time span. So basically it was 2,000 retail is what I collected, but I turned around and doubled that order and, invested the tax basically so that I could have some product on my shelf. And then after that, I was ordering maybe once a week because every time I'd hold a party, I'd sell what I had and then I'd have to reorder. So it was a little bit of a struggle, but I made it work. So that was March. So let's go into April. There is power in just listening to what your director tells you to do sometimes and living with blind faith. So Brittany Capps is my director. She was not a national at the time. She was just a sales director. So Leah Carter was our national. And Brittany told me that part of my new consultant training was to see 30 faces in 30 days and to do a minimum of 6 pearls of sharing calls with the women of my choice. She said they don't have to have an ounce of interest in the company. They just have to love you enough to get on the phone for 15 minutes. And that was it. And so she told me that I had stuck in my head the statistic of 1 and 2 will hold, which is actually parties, not share calls. So when she told me to schedule 6, I contacted 12 people, thinking that only half of them would actually do the call. And I'm prize driven. So when you tell me that there's jewelry involved or that I can win something or be number 1 in something, I'm very, very much on top of that challenge. So we did our share calls, and we had several people that were interested, and 3 people agreed to hold parties for me, but they were in Florida. So I asked Brittany Capps to fly with me to Florida on no notice. You know, and she's building a national area at the time. I had no idea what I was asking her to do. I was asking her to give up an entire weekend in the month of April, less than 2 months before the end of the seminar year, and fly with me, a brand new consultant who couldn't come in with inventory and had no team members at the time, to Florida. Something in her heart said yes. God told her to say yes. And so I got her a buddy pass. We flew to Florida. We held 3 parties that weekend, and I came home that weekend with 5 team members. So I had 1 person in Texas that signed from our share calls, and then 3 people we had done share calls with were at the parties that were held in Florida, and they all signed on the spot at those parties. Their parties turned into the launch parties for them. And so by the time I came home, I was in my red jacket. So I went from 0 brand new consultant to red jacket in basically 3 weeks. Fast forward a little bit to the end of the month. I ended out the month with 8 new team members. So from 0 to 8 in 1 month. So when somebody tells me that getting in their red jacket is hard, it's not. It's a mindset. It's a decision, and it's a mindset. You have to know that it's done in order for it to be done. If you doubt or you waver or you let this get in the way, yes, it's going to take you a really long time to get in that red jacket. Or you'll play, I like to call it the red and dead game, which means you're in your red, you're out of your red. You're in your red, you're out of the red. So don't do that. If you imagine sitting down in a chair and you're going to stand up, if you stand up really, really, really slow, it's hard. If you just get up, it's easy. It's the same thing with moving forward in this company. The faster you do it, the easier it is, and the easier it is to maintain. So that's not to say if you've been in the company for a year, 5 years, 10 years, that you can't all of a sudden decide to move quickly, because it's a decision. There are plenty of ways to have been working your business for a long time and make a new decision and actually commit to that decision. So I was maybe working about 10 hours a week at this point in April. I did not feel ready to submit for DIQ, my first full month in the company. So I gave myself the month of May. I didn't push for the last 2 team members that I needed to submit DIQ. And so in May, I added those other 2, and I just continued to build on my skills because I was still a brand new baby consultant. So I submitted for DIQ June 1st, and it was crunch time. Brittany Capps was ready to be a national, and she was only 4 directors short of being done. Now, if you've not heard her story, she went from having 4 first-line sales directors to 10 in less than 6 months. So she built her national area. She decided at leadership that she was going to finish her national area, and it was all but done come June. So it was myself and 3 other brand new DIQs. We were all in month 1 of DIQ, June 1st. There's a lot of pressure that comes with DIQ on its own, let alone the pressure of trying to get it done in 1 month. It can be done. I've seen it done. One of the 4 of us did finish her DIQ in 1 month. She had come into the company 2 weeks after me. She signed her agreement on April 1st. So she went from April 1st to sales director July 1st. So she did it in 3 full months. Yeah. Well, no, 2 months, because April, May, all of April, all of May, all of June. Yeah, 3 months. Sorry, I suck at math. So anyway, so I did not finish. We got pretty close. We got about 3/4 of the way done in the month of June. Great month. I finished out month 3 of my career car. No. Yeah. April was month 1 of career car. May was month 2 of career car. And then June was month 3. Okay, sorry. And so then it was, I need to hit the grindstone. So I finished my DIQ in 2.5 months and started my super unit. We were officially named a unit September 1st. So that's kind of my, long story short of how quickly you can move in this company. Did I know everything that there is to know? No, I still don't. I learned something new every single day because I'm first and foremost a consultant. So when you look at a director, no matter how fantastic they are or what level they are always a consultant first. And so that's what you have to remember. Don't let the thought of, oh, well, I don't think I could be a red jacket because I'm not ready to train people yet. It's not your job. That's your director's job. Until you're ready to move into DIQ, you don't have to worry about doing any sort of training or anything like that. Now, I took over doing my share calls my second, after my pearls of sharing were done because I was comfortable with it. If you've practiced something 5, 6, 7 times, you should be pretty proficient in it to be able to do it on your own. But I kept goal posters, and I just didn't let myself have that plan B. I knew that it was this or go back to working a 40-hour-a-week job. Now, I can't say that I've ever worked 40-hour week in my Mary Kay business, but here's what I can tell you. If you take the hours that you have and you're intentional with that time and you work for yourself like you would work for someone else, you'd be amazed what you can get done in a very short amount of time. If you go into your appointments and into your share calls with the mindset of, why wouldn't she want to buy from me? I'm amazing. The products are amazing. Of course she's going to buy from me. If you go in with the mindset of, absolutely she wants to join my team. This is perfect for her. This is going to change her life. If you go in with those thoughts rather than, oh, I don't want to ask. I don't want to bug her. I don't think that this is for her, so I'm just not going to ask her. You guys, I was not the Mary Kay type. I was far from it. I was scary. I was Elsa the Ice Queen. Rachel should not have asked me to be a Mary Kay consultant, but she was doing what Brittany told her to do, and that was do your pearls of sharing. So I agreed to do a call. And then she followed up with me because I was that friend. I was that friend that I'm like, nope, not for me. But yeah, I'll help you out. I'll help you out with a goal. So that's actually what made me sign up was I got Rachel into her red jacket. I was her 3rd person. She just needed one more person. And she knew how much I loved the product. I mean, I was buying it left and right. She'd even come over to my house because I would get orders for myself and my neighbors. I was doing the work for her. And she'd be like, thanks for the $150. Like, yeah, that's not fun. All right, so I don't want to keep going too much longer. I'm just going to share something with you guys real quick, and then we'll wrap it up because I know Shelly wanted to keep this probably under 30 minutes. But when I met last night, went to an event last night with Gloria Mayfield Banks. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. She's our #1 national sales director, if you didn't know that. And her highest commission check, $114,000. I had it wrong. I was saying 104. $114,000. There's a big difference in that 10,000 there. So she shared with us that your #1 job with this business is you are here to bless others. You are here to bless others, and that means that you are here to make them feel better about their skin. You are here to make them feel more confident in themselves, and you are here to bless them with this business opportunity. So if you are not sharing this business opportunity with every single person that you facial, why? Why have you prejudged her and assumed that she wouldn't want Mary Kay in her life? Why would you assume that she doesn't want an extra $200,000, $500,000, $800,000 a month? Did you guys know that Gloria Mayfield Banks only wanted to make $200 a week when she started? That's all. She said if you would have told her back then that she was going to make $114,000 in 1 month, she would have quit right then and there because she didn't think that was possible. She's like, nope, don't put that expectation on me because it's never going to happen. So she was just happy making $200 a week, and the rest of it just sort of built. And she said in Mary Kay, there's 2 tracks that you can run, and both of these tracks are very, very honorable. They both have their own place. The first track is just selling the product, just putting the product on faces, just selling. The second track is selling and team building. You have to figure out which track you're on and run full speed ahead. So if you want to expand the lives of others, bless others with this opportunity, and give yourself a major boost in commission check, then you need to be on the track of selling and team building. Stop being selfish. If you are just only 100% into selling, then you better work your butt off because it's going to take you 4 times more effort to just sell the product and not team build as far as your monthly income. If this is just a hobby for you, no problem, but you're probably not watching if this is just a hobby. Gloria Mayfield Banks became a red jacket in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So we have that in common with each other, which I think is kind of cool to have something in common with Gloria Mayfield Banks. Makes me very, very happy. Her daughter was 2 years old when she started Mary Kay. That's another thing that we have in common. And now she's a famous makeup artist. And I love that. So I think it makes me think of future things for my family. And then, hang on. There was one more thing that I wrote down lots of things, but there was one more thing that I wanted to share. Okay, the last point that she made that I really, really wanted to share is don't underestimate the power of the small, medium, and large goal. And you have to always, always, always have a goal poster everywhere you go in your house. She said if you walk into her house right now, there are goal posters everywhere. She's like, I don't care that I'm the #1 national. If I want it again next year, I better have my goal posters everywhere in my house. But with that, there's no goal that's too small. There's no goal that's too big. So don't feel like you have to fit into somebody else's box or somebody else's goal poster. Make your own. Figure out your why, set your goals, but aim high. So if right now $200 a week is your goal, great. What would happen in your life if you doubled that? What would happen if you just had $200 a week from selling, but another $1,000 a month from team building? My very first commission check from the company for team building was $781 or something like that. I was a brand new consultant. Didn't know what I was doing, just sharing the opportunity through Pearls of Sharing and adding people at parties. That was it. $781 to do that. I was there anyway. So think about that. You can still have the goal of just holding 1 party a week. But when you add team building on top of it and you move fast, it's so much more fun. It's so much more fun to do this with friends and to do it fast. So don't be afraid to switch tracks at any time. If you've just been on the selling track, that's fine. If you've been on the slow going track, that's fine. All you have to do is add a little heat. There is a 1 degree difference between steam and just boiling water. 1 degree. So what's that 1 degree shift that you can make to take your boiling water that you got going now and turn it into steam that will fuel that locomotive down the track that you choose to take? And how quick can you get there? So that's what I have to share, unless there's something else that Shelly wanted me to share. And I think she wanted to open it up for questions maybe?
Yeah, let's definitely. You guys, let's first of all, either ask questions or definitely if something resonated with you, let's share some positive feedback. And I actually, Nicole, I don't think I had heard your story from beginning to end, and like that you went to Red Jacket that quickly. Yeah, and as far as directorship, so I never had heard your dates. So now I know. And I have to say, of course, I started my business in August, but January was when I actually started working the business, and from January, I didn't do it in 3 weeks, I did it in 3 months. I was a Red Jacket by March. So once I actually started working and made the decision, moved into Red.
Yep.
Okay, so if you guys will, yeah, let's open it up for a couple questions. So we've got fast track Nicole here. But and I guess share too if there was a takeaway, and I kind of have an overall takeaway too, but I'll open it up for you guys to start. So on your mark, get set, go. Unmute and ask away.
Somebody unmute. I don't bite.
Okay, any comments? Anything that stood out that might have hit home?
Melissa, you go first. I'm picking you. Unmute yourself.
Can I unmute them?
Okay. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how to work this. Okay. Oh, no, what did I do? Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so the whole like STEAM thing, like that 1 degree and making a decision, and lately it's been like I just want it so bad. Like that stuff just really resonates with me right now. Okay, somebody else talk.
You know what, though? I think, and I'll turn that, it wasn't really a question, but I'll turn that into a question and answer. So I have been asked in the past, what do you do or what do you suggest to your team members that need to make this happen and it's not necessarily happening at how fast they want it to, or they're not necessarily hitting their goal? So I have learned that women are very intuitive creatures, and we pick up on what other people are putting out there in the universe. So it's one thing to work with that full steam ahead intention, but you have to just go into every appointment with the knowledge and the idea that I am here to bless these women, and whatever God blesses me with in return is what was meant to be. So the times that I've gone into appointments and I'm like, oh my gosh, my cell phone bill's due, I've got to pay this bill. You know, if I'm thinking those thoughts before I walk in the door, they pick up on it, it's a $0 party every time. But if I sit in my car, and I have to do my affirmations in my car before I go, because I'm not like a huge high energy person. I might seem like it right now, but that's because I've sort of rehearsed what I was going to say. But I have to do my affirmations. I have to have a song that gets me hyped up. And I go in there and I'm like, whatever happens, happens. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to bless them. They're going to feel better when they leave than when I got there. And if I've done that, I've done my job. And then whatever happens, happens. And so when I switched to that mindset of what can I do for them tonight, that's when it switched. And I think that's why I moved so quickly in the beginning, because I wasn't yet at that point of thinking from even a goal mindset, because I didn't even know what my goal was. You know, I was just doing my practice faces, and for me, I was happy that they were sitting in front of me. So I think if you go to the mindset of I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy that they're here, and we're just going to have fun, that's when women are more apt to join you and run with you, because they didn't feel any sort of desperation or need or like, oh, she wants something, you know, kind of deal. So, all right, so Suzanne or Jennifer, who wants to go next?
I'll go, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like with me being a brand new consultant, and I kind of always thought I wouldn't be the type of person to sell Mary Kay either, and I just don't know that much about makeup and everything. I feel like that I'm in the same place you were when you started, and I guess it just gives me more confidence and makes me feel like maybe my goals are actually possible, just because you started off at, you know, the bottom and just took off. So I guess it makes me feel better. It makes me know that no goal is too small.
Exactly. And I think as a new consultant, it's awesome because you don't know what you don't know. And so when you just go into an appointment and you're just practicing and you mess up, that makes you normal. Like, I love the flip chart for new consultants, because it doesn't matter how long you've been in the company, they can see that you're just reading off the back of a piece of paper. And they look at that and they're like, oh, I can do that too. So in my skincare classes are nowhere near perfect. I try to make them fun, and sometimes I feel like I'm losing people, I will screw up on purpose to make myself more real, you know, because yeah, I've got the spiel memorized now, but when I first started, I was a hot mess, but I was having fun, and they were having fun, and the product is the product. The product is amazing one way or the other, and it's even if you put it on in the wrong order, I've done that too. It shows that you're real, and so don't be afraid also to share your goals with other people. I think that's one of the things that really helped me as a new consultant is I wasn't afraid to put my goals out there because, again, I was just doing what my director told me to do, and she told me share my goal with everyone. So I was like, okay. So at my party, when I gave my story, I said, you know, hey, I don't want to go back to corporate America. This is what I used to do. So my goal is to make enough money with my Mary Kay business that I don't have to put my kids in daycare. And so I think that by putting that out there, it made me more real to people. And they were like, they want to help you. You know what I mean? Like, when you tell them your actual goal and you share your why, it makes them it gives them a piece of you that they feel connected to. And usually women are helpers. And they just want to fix it. So, you know, don't be afraid to use your why in your I story or your why story. And don't be afraid to screw up. Like, just get out there. The best thing you can do is just practice. You know, if you look at every single party that you do as just practice, then you're going to make more, you're going to add more, and you're going to have a ton of fun because it takes off that pressure of being perfect. I've been doing this for almost a year and a half, and I am nowhere near perfect, but I have a good time when I do it. So, all right.
Okay, Miss Jennifer, do you have a question or anything you want to throw out?
I guess, you know, I did set the goal of making director in less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been hitting a lot of bumps in the road here lately. And it kind of, a lot of times I wonder, I kind of feel like I don't know enough to be a director because I depend on Shelly for so much. I'm like, I couldn't be that for other people. So, like, knowing that you were able to make it in less than a year and you're still learning and still make, you know, so, I guess not really a question, but that helps a lot because that's my biggest fear is not knowing what to do as a director.
Well, one thing that I tell my girls, and the same thing that Brittany told me, is in Mary Kay, we learn as we go. And don't feel like you need to know everything before it's time to know it. That's why the process is the way it is. That's why we have a DIQ program. That's why you have certain challenges and certain things that you have to meet while you're in DIQ, because it's the company's way of setting you up for success. And so once you move up into leadership, you'll start getting different types of training on how to be a director. I didn't know how to be a director, but I'm coachable and I can watch a video and I can copy and paste from what my director's doing. So I have my first offspring sales director. I didn't share that part. So I am now a senior sales director. So within my first year of being a director, I offsprung a new sales director. And so I think, too, by starting out so new, you know, my people just traveled along with me, and they learned along with me. And like I said, as long as you keep in your mind that regardless of being a sales director or not, you're still a consultant, that's it. A director is just giving their people monkey see, monkey do. You know, you guys are following what Shelly does. She probably only spends a few hours each week doing director duties, which is coaching people, sending them the right resources, you know, that sort of thing. But they teach you how to do all of that. And when you get to that point, then Shelly will still teach you how to do all of that, but it will be coming from you to your people. So they don't really see that she's still kind of feeding you the answers, you know, once you get into directorship. And, I mean, September 1st marks my full first year of, like, the end of my first year of being a sales director. And so up until about 3 or 4 months ago, I was still just taking everything that Brittany Capps did, copying it, and pasting it. You know, she would record a message, I would re-record the message. You know, and that was pretty much all I did. So it's just like learning your skincare class. If you can learn your skincare class, you can learn how to become a sales director. You just have to want it, and you have to be willing to put in the work. So again, it goes back to, are you willing to work for yourself like you will for other people? And those obstacles are just part of it. You know, the obstacles are proof that you're making progress, because if you weren't hitting obstacles, then you wouldn't be doing, you aren't doing anything at all.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. And, you know, I was going to say, one of the overall things just from listening to you talk, probably, I mean, and you guys may have picked up on it, it's all up here. It's all up in the head. And it's just work plus the head work, and we got it. But I have to say, I have, you know, I've been in the business for a while. Well, sometimes I've had my why. I hit my why, and then you have to come up with a new why in your business. And so I have been sharing my why now at my appointments, and about sharing about paying for my oldest one's college fund. You're supporting my college fund. And it's amazing just how women, and I was gonna say, they want to be a part of something big, like a whether it's helping or just being a part of that big that goal. Is just being a part of something. Women want to be a part of on board with somebody going somewhere.
Yes.
So that's huge, and I like that my why story. That's our new thing, you guys. It's not an I story, but a why. So okay, well, awesome. I'm so excited. I learned something new tonight. We
oh, and real quick, I meant to show you. I got the new director ring in for this sales director class. So because I had an offspring, they sent me one.
It's pretty.
It's really, really pretty.
It's shining. It's shining.
If you like blingy things, and then this is the August bracelet. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, I love it. So I'm very prize motivated. And that's a whole nother training, is what motivates you. But we'll do that another night. What motivates you?
Yeah.
What love language are you? What personality type?
Yeah.
So, all right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for letting me stop by and crash your party.
We loved it. Totally loved it. Thank you so much. And thank you, ladies, for being on tonight. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Bye.